we're going to move on. We're going to move on to the Master of Shadows. This is ZED's encounter. Special rules are Embrace the Shadows. Their attacking units have additional power. We're going to try this. I usually don't do all that well against it because, I mean, you have to go up against Fiora, I think. If I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've actually played this one. Yeah. Yeah, the nodes here are actually pretty strong in my opinion. We're going to go for Crush here. I think it's kind of underrated. Armed Gearhead's okay too, but we don't have any real creative cards, I don't think. So, Crush is probably the best option. We have the Sparring Student here. They have the power practice motions. When a unit is summoned, they give their weakest ally 1/1 this round. And we're going to fight it. So, we do have Overwhelm on a lot of our units here, so we're doing pretty good already. And we are going to replace Zenith Blade, Sunburst, and Iola. We'll keep the Blinded Mystic. Alright, and to open up, we're going to drop down the Solari Soldier. And we're going to attack with the 2. That's already going to do a third of their Nexus health. Alright, we're going to do the same thing basically, except we can't attack with this turn, sadly. And what they're on there. Okay, we can either immediately attack for 6, or we can drop down another unit and attack for 9. Actually, or 10. Yeah, it would be 10 thanks to Daybreak. 10, 11. Yeah. I wasn't expecting Solari Soldier to get extra stats off that. Oh, anyways. We still win. That was a pretty perfect round for us too. They didn't even play a unit, so things went well. Alright, we can either go for Moonsilver or Zenith Blade here. Having more Zenith Blades are okay. I actually like the card. I have nothing against it. Alright, and we're going to be looking for some other stuff here. So, Cannon has his level up condition being summoning the same ally 5 times. We don't have any recall, so we aren't able to utilize that. Ekram, though, we can actually use. Giovanna, we can actually use. Well, we're going to reroll these anyways. As you can see, we have Viego once again. We can go for that. Alternatively, we can try Pike. However, we don't have the lurk power, so that makes him a little bit weaker, fortunately. Darius is kind of okay too, to some extent. But it's probably going to be another reroll here. It would be nice if I can get, like, Diana or something. They have a 3-cost Shen. And we can give Leona a barrier. So I think Shen's actually a good option here. And we're going to go up against the Bright Steel Protector. I don't like going up against Ren Shadowblade. He's actually really strong. Alright, so the Bright Steel Protector has the power load shields up. Whenever the round starts, they give their strongest unit barrier. We're going to change our loadout real quick. Because we do have our Infernal Shen skin, and I barely ever get chances to use it. So, we're going to use it. Alright, and we are going to fight. So, we don't have 2 stars on Leona. If we did, this wouldn't be as bad. We do start with the attack turn though, so the next time we do get our attack turn, it's going to be turn 3. So replacing Zenith Blade here is actually okay. I want to keep the other cards though. Hopefully I could draw our 1 cost. That's been my only issue with this deck really, is just not drawing your 1 cost fast enough. Okay, so we'll drop down the Sunhawk. It's the only thing we could really do here. And that will stun their barriered Cythria. And we can honestly just use it to take out the War Chef. We keep our Sunhawk too, which is cool. Okay, so here we're going to drop down the Blinded Mystic, we're going to buff, and we're going to silence. Alright, and we're just going to attack with the Blinded Mystic here. We're going to keep our Sunhawk. Alright, we're going to pass. And it's going to be our turn 4, so we'll be able to drop down our Yvonne if we want. Or we can drop down Sunburst. Doesn't seem like they're giving us many options here. Yeah, KI Guardian gives barrier to an ally in hand, so I'm not able to use that either. Save our units here. We'll drop down Yvonne. And this will set us up for our attack turn next turn. And we'll end the round there. They do only have 3 cards in hand, so that's something to make note of. We'll drop down Leona here, and dropping down Leona is going to level her up. We do have Tempest Blade on her, so she's going to stun the entire field. Unfortunately, in this case, that's only the Fleet Feather Tracker, which could have been done with just her Solar Flare. And we're going to attack with both here regardless. We are going to use Leona to challenge their War Chef. And we're going to commit to this attack. Unlucky. They did use Prismatic Barrier to give it barrier. But we still have Overwhelm here, so it's still going to hit their Nexus for the same amount. We just want to take out their unit.
My shield is yours.
Okay, so we'll drop down Leona's Morning Light here, and we're going to activate her Daybreak, and we'll commit to this. That's going to give her barrier, and she's also going to stun a unit too. Well, they do attack with both of them. We're going to block just like this. Our Raybon does take 3 damage, but overall, that's about it. That happens. We can drop down Zenith Blade here, but it's only at this round kind of thing, so not the greatest. We could use the KI Guardian, and we'll give barrier to our Sun Guardian, and that will also let us draw. We'll pass. Alright, here, we're going to open up with the Solari Sunhawk. And that's going to stun a unit. And that's going to stun 2 thanks to Leona's Solar Flare. And lucky for us, this interaction doesn't overlap with each other. So we can actually do other stuff now too. We can drop down the Sun Guardian.
A sacred guardian fueled by holy light.
And that's going to stun their Fleet Feather Tracker. So now, at this point, they have to play other units, or we'll just win outright. Okay, so we're going to continue doing what we're doing. We'll drop down the Solari Soldier. That's still day for us because we do have Yvonne. So Solar Flare takes place. And we continue to stun their entire board. They ran out of... They gave up on doing things, basically, so we're just going to commit to this attack. And that's going to be it for them. Sometimes the best way to win is just to control the board. And play to your advantage, of course. Often, it's hard to have the advantage all the time whenever you have a slower deck, or a deck where you're not always drawing your 1 cost, or 2 cost, or what have you. Alright, so, we're going to go for the Star Tip Peak here. I actually think it's okay. Crystalline Bracer is also kind of beneficial to us. It gives our Nexus some more sustain. And we'll go into the spells chest, of course. We can go for Shield Vault here. And we'll stick to the Targon region, more or less. We either have to go up against the Fate Blade Twirler, which I think we have enough board control to be able to be alright against that, or we can go up against Cythrio. So they do have Battle Hardened, and I think I'd rather go up against the Fate Blade Twirler. I know it's a harder encounter, I think. I mean, I feel like it's a harder encounter because they also stun. But we'll see. We should be able to control the board better as long as we have Leona. So speaking of which, we're going to try to get Leona in our starting hand. We were able to actually get our lower cost units here too, which is nice. And they do start with the attack token, so we're just going to pass and let them attack. There's nothing that we can really do about that. And we can drop down the Solari Soldier here just to activate Daybreak and get the Philosopher's Stone rolling. And we'll end the round there. Unfortunately for us, Flash of Steel does stun it. But I think we'll be okay. We'll drop down the Solari Shield Bearer here. Interesting. Very interesting. So we're going to attack with the Shield Bearer. We're going to use it to challenge the Conspirator. And we do have Overwhelm, so we'll be dealing damage to their Nexus and taking out their unit. Alright. So what we'll do here is we'll actually drop down the Solari Sunhawk. And that's going to stun the Green-Glade Lookout. So now they have to play another card to attack. It's kind of funny, this encounter is the first time I'm actually taking Nexus damage here. Going up against ZED. There's a bunch we could do here. I just don't know what the best option is. Well, actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll just use Shield Bolt here. We'll grant our Shield Bearer extra power, and we're going to stun the Green Glade Lookout. So we don't have to worry about its strike effect. And we can also drop down Shen here. Alright, and we're going to use him to attack. We're going to attack accordingly, and we are going to challenge their Dancing Droplet. And we'll commit to this. If they decide to recall it, which it looks like they will. Yeah. Damn. Well, if it was any recall except for that one, we would have been okay. That's kind of okay, though. It's not the worst thing that could happen. Alright, and right now, there's some other stuff that we can do here, too. We'll just use Sunburst for now, and we'll take out their... well, I don't need to take out the Green Glade Elder. Although it's going to deal a lot more damage. Maybe I should, but I don't know. We're going to take out their Lookout instead. That way they don't reduce the cost of their units.
You'll soon understand my methods.
Interesting. Alright, so this is kind of something that we have to worry about now. We're going to take out these two units, but we can't deal with the Dancing Droplet just yet. And our Shen's now stunned, unfortunately. We're going to drop down the Blinded Mystic, we're going to buff up our Soldier, and we're going to silence the Dancing Droplet. They're going to recall it immediately. And unfortunately that takes out our silence that we just put on it. We're going to use the KI Guardian, and we're going to give it to the Shield Bearer. That's also going to let us draw. Unfortunately for us, we still didn't draw Leona. That's alright though. We're going to attack with both though. Regardless, we're going to trade units here once again. And we're going to put some more damage into their Nexus. There's nothing else that we can do this turn. However, our opponent seems to be filling up the board. Oh, that's not good. Alright, well, they do drop down Yone. We'll drop down our Sunhawk. I think that's our best move here. And that's going to stun Yone. And we're going to use it to block, and we are also going to give it Barrier Lifesteal. So we don't take as much damage. And they lose our unit. We're going to wait to drop down the shield bearer, and we're just going to pass. We're going to keep the 2 spell mana. Interesting. Alright, so we'll drop down a shield bearer here. It does have Challenger, which is great. But they do drop down another Yone. Damn. Alright, we'll use Iola here, I suppose. And we'll give Spell Shield to Shen. And that should stop the stun from next turn. And we're going to do it again. And we're going to use it this time probably on our Solari Soldier.
They took my love, but left my rage.
And I could go for an attack here, but it's kind of silly for me to.
Enough grief.
I don't know. Maybe it's worth it. We'll see. I know I'm going to lose both of the units here.
Want to see these moves up close?
And we put damage into the Fate Blade Twirler. That's alright. Yeah, it was kind of silly to do, but...
Who's got the upper hand?
We'll drop down the Solari Soldier over the Shield Bearer just to get the Philosopher's Stone rolling. Cool. Yeah, I have to be careful here. So, no matter who I use to block the Blade Twirler, we're going to lose them. I could use the Soldier that we dropped to take out both their Yones. And I can use it to take out the Swole Squirrel. But I'm forced to eat a lot of damage here regardless. I could use KI Guardian to get the Shield Bearer barrier. That will let us draw another card. Fortunately, it doesn't help us much. Yeah, whenever you're not getting the cards you need, you can't really sleep on the Fate Blade Twirler. It's a pretty strong node.
Cute.
We're just gonna have to pass. We haven't got Ravon yet. We haven't got Leona yet. We've been getting Shen, which is okay, but not what we need.
My training is
And they're finally out of cards. So, well, this is about the only thing that we could do here. We are going to use Shen Stand United. So, it doesn't really matter. Just I kind of just want to take out one of their 1 health units to be able to put some damage onto their Nexus. Alright, and we're going to use Stand United. And we're going to swap them. And that's going to give Shen Barrier too. And whenever he gets Barrier, he gets more power. And that will be just enough to end. So there you have it. Don't mess with the Beyblade Twirler. If you don't have to. Alright, I'll probably have to reserve some gold to be able to take out Fiora. So I'm leaning more towards the champion item chest here then. And oof. These rewards are kind of rough for us. I guess Yone's okay. Everything's high cost. I don't like high cost that much. Especially not against something like Fiora. We're gonna go for Leona with Rally Banner. I mean, that's going to try to mitigate our enemies from taking out Leona. And we're going to purchase healing here, as I previously mentioned. And now we're going to go up against her. She has the power time to duel. When one of their allies challenge one of our cards, they're granted tough this round. Alright, we are going to be replacing the Spirit's Refuge and Iola and Ravon. We're just going to replace our whole starting hand. Alright, well, this isn't looking any better for us, unfortunately. I see. Okay, well, we'll just drop down the Star Tip Peak for now. And we'll pass.
worlds.
Alright, we'll drop down Shen. He starts with barrier. Oh, we do eat 7 damage out off of that though. Okay. So unfortunately this time around we don't have any cost reduction on Leona. So we're gonna have to wait till our next turn to play her. But I could just use Sunburst now to take out Fiora. So I don't have to worry about her. Hopefully this works. Awesome, it did. Oh. Alright, and we're going to drop down the Serpent too, just for good measure. We're going to use the Serpent. And we're going to attack with both Shen and the Serpent. We should probably use the Serpent to actually challenge the Screeching Dragon. I mean, that might seem a little silly, but we'll take out the Protege. The Prodigy if they went for that. I always have a hard time pronouncing stuff like that, so it's whatever. We'll drop down Leona.
First light illuminates the land.
So despite this stunning, they can use strike skills still with Fiora. So I have to be mindful of that. Alright, and we're going to use Leona, and we're going to block with both Leona and Shen. There we go, we'll pass. So it's now our turn 6, I believe, yeah? Yep. Okay, so we'll drop down Solari Sunhawk. That should level up Leona. Yep. Alright, so the whole board's going to be stunned thanks to us having Tempest Blade.
Power of the sun.
We don't utilize all the board control of the Sunhawk, but I think that's okay. And we'll drop down Moonglow, I think. And we'll give it to Shen. We'll commit to this. They have mana, so they can still do stuff. It's kind of why I'm being a little bit more hesitant.
Enforced equilibrium.
And we're gonna attack like this. We're going to use Leona to challenge her Loyal Badger Bear, and that's going to take it out. We also put some damage into their Nexus as well, of course.
I need only one to win.
Alright, it's now our turn 7.
Safeguard our citizens.
We're going to drop down Yone. We'll be stunning their Dragon and Fiora, since they both have Challenger. Interesting. So they give Confront to what, their Blade Keeper? Yeah. Unfortunately, Leona's stun didn't work correctly
I will
with
protect
Yone's stun, so it was kind of wasted. And we're also running out of board control.
Uncle, it is good to see.
Alright, so we're going to have to drop down our Yvonne here. So now it's always day for us. That's going to stun Leona. Or sorry, stun Fiora.
The finest blades for my lady.
They keep buffing her for whatever reason. That's not going to help them any. We're going to use KI Guardian, and we're going to give it to the Solari Soldier. And we're going to drop down the Solari Soldier.
Raise your weapons, Sunwitch.
This time should stun the Screeching Dragon. Yep, cool. And next we'll drop down the Shield Bearer.
unyielding light.
And it's just going to keep going down the line, basically. Alright. Well, we should have enough here to be able to deal with them now. We're going to attack with all of our units. We have Challenger on 2 of them. And they do have Overwhelm. But I think you know what? I might as well utilize it. Yeah, we'll attack like this. They decided not to block, so we actually beat Fiora first try, which is great for us. Alright, and now we have to pick cards that will be good against Zed. Hopefully we get something nice. It can be pretty difficult and tricky to deal with. We do get level 10 off this too, which is cool. We are going to go for Spell Shield on Shen, probably. Having more copies of him is good too, since he is lower cost. We do have a power here to pick from. Slow but steady is insane. In fact, it's really good for Leona. Alright, and we are going to go up against Usari. They have the power Treetop Ambush. On the round start, their strongest unit gets Challenger, and their weakest unit gets Elusive. Okay, this is actually a really good hand for us. We're just going to keep it. They do start with 2 spell mana though, or sorry, 2 normal mana. So they have a bit of an advantage on us. We're going to start by dropping down the Solari Soldier. Interesting. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. Okay. We'll drop down the Shield Bearer here. It was lucky that we got it, otherwise we would have just used KI Guardian, probably on Blinded Mystic or something to that effect. And we're going to attack both of them here. We're going to use it to challenge their Blade Scout. And now I don't have to worry about that unit taking out our soldier. So we get some damage on their Nexus as well, on top of taking out an important unit.
The order rewards its faithful.
Alright. We're going to drop down the Sunhawk here, and that's going to stun. That's going to stun one of the Highwaymen. Or the Brigand.
They cannot hide.
Oh well. We do lose our Shield Bearer, and we do eat some damage here from their elusive units. Okay, so we're going to drop down the Blinded Mystic, we're going to buff up our soldier, and we are going to nerf, or silence rather, their Shadow Assassin. Okay. So we're going to use KI Guardian here, and we are going to use it on Leona. And that's going to let us draw another card, and we're just going to attack here with all of our units. Whatever they use to block is okay. Actually, their elusive units, using them to block is actually better. Because we don't have that many, we don't have many ways of taking out elusives. Like, our only real option is Challenger. We're just forcing them to block. Okay, so we'll drop down Leona here, and we don't have to worry about blocking this round, because everything will be stunned. Unless they play new units. Which they have 4 mana, they might. They do have 2 cards left, so we'll see. Tempest Blade seems to take a while to activate, I've noticed. Alright, well, they get 2 more damage on us. We're going to drop down Shen.
2 worlds, 1 balance.
And that's going to stun one of their units, so one less to worry about. They still have 2 cards in hand, though. Oh, they decided not to do anything with them. Interesting. Very interesting. We're going to use Shen to give the Solari Soldier barrier. Leona already has it, so I don't have to worry about her. We do have Challenger as well. We'll use it to pick off their Young Witch, I suppose. And we'll commit to this attack. It's just enough damage to win, so if they blocked, there's nothing that we could have done there. It's okay, it happens. Their Resonating Strike has us trade units over here. But beyond that, we take pretty much everything else. And we almost won, as you can see. We're going to pass. And we're going to keep our 3 spell mana for the next attack turn. they finally played their full hand. So here we're just going to drop down Yone, and we're going to stun the Inspiring Mentor and Keeper of the Masks. If they decide to attack with one Keeper of the Masks, they're surely going to lose it. Alright, and we're going to end around there. Okay, we're actually going to start off by dropping down the Star Tip Peak. And that's going to heal our Nexus up a little tiny bit. And we're just going to commit to this attack. It's going to wipe out their field. I don't have to worry about picking who blocks who, I don't think.
They are under my protection.
We should be strong enough with Overwhelm to not have to worry about it. Yeah. That's pretty good. We did take a lot of damage there from all their elusive units. Leona doesn't have that many built-in ways of dealing with them. So that is what it is. Okay, and we can go for the Sunburst with Elixir of Skill, Blast Cone Seedling, which will have Barrier, which will help us level up Shen faster, and it also has Challenger to be able to deal with some more pain in the ass units that have elusive. Or we can go with Yone and just buff them. We'll go for the Blast Cone Seedling. I think I convinced myself. I'm leveling up Shen faster. Alright. We have the Ethereal Remitter. We could go for Not So Fast here. I think that's probably our best option because we can't spam units, so the Coastal Defenders aren't going to help us any. So yeah, we'll go for Not So Fast. We do have a shop here. And after the shop we have two choices to make basically on who we're going to take out. We will go for the Summoning Beacon on the Zenith Blade. That is a firm hell yeah. We could also go for Battle Bonds. That's going to give 2/2 with -2 cost and 2 allies. And we can go for the Vanguard Lookouts too. Well, they're kind of weaker. That's alright for us because it means we don't have to worry as much early game. Yeah, we'll go for 1 copy of Battle Bonds, I think, and a copy of Celestial Wonder. Being able to stun too for cheaper is better than Yone. Yeah. Okay, so we have the choice between a shop, the Young Witch, or the Spells chest here. Pretty much the options are Zephyr Sage or the Swift Wing Flight. They do have the power to take flight, which makes them very hard to deal with whenever you're not using aggressive decks. So I'm going to go up against the Zephyr Sage here. I think it's overall easier. They have the power memories multiplied. They create an exact fleeting copy of the least expensive unit in their hand, meaning they would be able to spam units too. This is actually a really good hand for us. So I think I'm going to keep it. Spirits Refuge is nice because we don't have full Nexus health. So having that later for one of our attack turns would be great.
My friend and I are soul collectors.
And unfortunately they're already matching our Vanguard Lookouts. Okay, so we're going to drop down the Blast Cone Seedling here, and we are going to choose Barrier. And we're going to attack with it, as well as our Vanguard Lookout.
You'll soon understand my methods. Get me a sweet bun, heightens the senses.
Damn, they're just spamming Inspiring Mentors on us now. Unfortunately for us, not so fast on both of our units. We'll drop down the Solari Sunhawk, and that will stun their Gold Protector. Ooh, that's a rough attack.
Not on my watch.
Yeah, I think blocking like this is okay. We're gonna take 7 damage, but hey, what can we do? I feel like not so fast kind of bit us in the ass in a way. We're gonna hold off on using Sunburst, so we're just gonna attack here with both of our units. And we are going to use our Blast Cone Seedling to take out the Inspiring Mentor that they have that's 2-1. And we're going to commit to this attack.
How did that move go?
We trade units over here though. And now we'll drop down the Star Tip Peak, and that's going to heal our Nexus up too. We're going to do it again. And we're going to end the round there. Alright, we're going to drop down Shen, and the barrier is going to be able to help us block it a little bit better. And we'll pass for now. They decided not to attack, which I'm kind of amazed by. I was totally expecting them to. Alright, so to open things up, we'll drop down Leona.
Daylight breaks on the battlefield.
He's going to stun everything, thanks to Tempest Blade.
Behold the divine power of the sun.
And their weakest unit is their Green Glade Caretaker, or sorry, Green Glade Elder. We can see that in their hand currently. We'll resolve this. Let Solar Player take its effect.
What would you wish to learn?
Alright. And now we could do a couple things first. We'll drop down the Serpent. They still have 3 mana, so we'll see what they do. Yeah, that's what I figured. I'm not too worried though. We're going to attack with Leona. We're going to attack with our other units too. We are going to utilize Shen. And we're actually probably going to take out our Leona. It sounds weird, but I mean, alternatively we could use Spirit's Refuge on her. But if we take her out, we'll be able to use Last Breath and we'll be able to rally. So I think that's just our best option here. Yeah, we'll commit to this. Okay, so before we continue, we're going to use the Zenith Blade here. We're going to use it this time on Shen. Give him a little bit more oomph. It's going to be doubled since we have Slow but Steady. And we actually got lifesteal out of this either way, so that's good for us. Now, we are going to use Shen's Barrier to give Barrier to the Tasty Fey Folk. And now we're going to use our Snake to take out their Elder. And we're going to use our other unit to take out the other Elder, basically. That's not going to be enough for us to end this match, but it'll be pretty close. Alright, we're going to end the round there. Unfortunately for us, we have both the strongest and the weakest unit. So, not looking too great. We're going to have to use Sunburst to take out their Swole Squirrel. It's not going to actually take it out though, but it will be silenced at least. So I wouldn't have to worry about the, oh no, it does get taken out. Never mind. I forgot Sunburst would be doubled. They just replaced it though. That's not good. We're going to have to use Zenith Blade here. We're going to give additional stats to the Tasty Fey Folk, and that's going to be doubled. And it's going to give us some more units too to work with. We don't have anything to really block a 7/7, unfortunately. We have to block everyone here, basically.
Defiance is our way.
What are you?
So we're pretty much forced to commit our block like this to take the least amount of damage. And we'll pass. Right now our weakest unit is still the Vanguard Lookout, but their strongest is now the Soul Squirrel. We are going to use Shield Vault here to open things up, and we are going to grant it to our Tasty Faefolk, and we are going to stun their Droid Protector. We do have to be really careful though, because they still have a Droid Protector in hand. Okay, and we're going to use the Blinded Mystic here too. Actually, nah, we're not going to. We're going to attack with both here, actually. And we're going to use Spirit's Refuge. We're going to give Shen Barrier and Lifesteal. And he's going to level up, thanks to his support effect on top of that. That's going to give him even more power. Unfortunately, not enough to end, but we are really close to it. We'll drop down Moonglow here, and we'll give it to our Tasty Faefolk. That's going to give us 4 health, and we'll end the round there. This is looking pretty scary. I'm not going to lie. Okay. Damn. We'll drop down Yone here. We are going to stun one of the Droid Protectors and their namesake card. Currently, we have our Vanguard Lookout stunned permanently, basically. So we have to worry about 3 units here. Interesting. So, I guess we just block with Yone here. We'll sacrifice him. And we'll just use Moonglow again. And we'll give additional health this time to Shen. Just in case, if that happens again, we want to be able to actually heal Shen.
What would you wish to learn?
Or have Shen be able to tank it. Alright, we're going to drop Yone down once again. Same thing, basically. We're going to stun their strongest units.
Do what must be done.
If I wanted to do things more effectively, which I don't think I'll need to, I would have dropped down Solari Sunhawk first. But we'll just drop down the Trickster. They don't have any elusive units.
Traditions are lost if not
We'll attack with all of them. And that will be enough to end the match. We'll be ending it with full Nexus health too, thanks to Lifesteal. And there we go. We took out the Zephyr Sage. It did look pretty rough there for a good bit.
You fought with honor.
But overall, we did pretty well. We got through it, so. Oh, actually, out of these are actually all okay. We'll go for a Hero's Horn on Shield Vault, although Philosopher's Stone and Solari Sunhawk are good options too. We are going to go for the Young Witch here. I don't know what this special encounter does just yet. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Alright, so I think Gruesome Theater's not the worst. We can go for that, and we'll go for Behold the Infinite. Yeah, I don't want to use the others. And maybe like one Gifts from Beyond or something. Or another. Yeah, I think that's okay. We don't need to do much here at the healing node. We can look to cut a card though. And I kind of want to cut Yone because we have Celestial Wonder. But I think we'll be okay. Hopefully we can get the cards that we need. And yeah, of course we have to do something here. So we're just going to heal real quick. And we're going to go up against ZED. He has Blade in the Darkness. If my Nexus took damage this round, their strongest unit strikes it. I'm sure you're familiar with his powers if you've played the weekly adventure, because you have to go up against 2 ZEDs. Both for the Darkstar portal and for the Shadow portal, both of which we have videos on our YouTube channel. Out of our starting hand, we're probably going to keep this, except I might want to replace the KI Guardian. Alright. They do open up with the attack token, and they get 2 elusive units to attack us with. That's going to hit us for a bit in itself, and then it's going to hit us once again, thanks to his power. Here we'll use Zenith Blade on our not stunned Vanguard Lookout. It's going to be doubled, and it's going to give us a couple units to work with too, thanks to it having Summoning Beacon. Summoning Beacon didn't trigger correctly like it did last time, unfortunately. So that sucks, but I suppose it is what it is. Here we'll attack with Mentor of the Stones. We'll use it to support the Green Glade Elder, and we'll attack with our Lookout as well. Hopefully we can get a ZED block here. Oh, that's perfect. That's really good for us. The only other thing that we could have wished for is for them to block with a Shadow Apprentice that has elusive. Yeah, I'm starting to think that they really like elusive units here. We're going to use the Blinded Mystic here. We're going to buff up our Mentor of the Stones, and we are going to silence their Shadow Assassin. Damn, they just replace it with another elusive unit. Figures. Okay. Well, this time around, we're going to use Zenith Blade once again. We're going to use it to buff up our Vanguard Lookout again. Sure, why not? Hopefully the doubling of this actually activates correctly, and we do get 2 Summoning Beacons. Yay!
The order rewards
Good.
its faithful.
Alright, so we are going to drop down Mentor of the Stones here. We're going to use Trevor. We're going to use the Vanguard Lookout, and we're going to attack with the Woodland Keeper alongside the Vanguard Lookout, the other Vanguard Lookout that we have. And this should be pretty strong. We'll see.
You cannot escape.
Our units do have Overwhelm, and that helps a lot too. Yeah, I'd say that went pretty well. We are going to use Gem here, and we're going to heal up Trevor. And it's going to be their turn now. Lucky for us, the weakest unit's the Shadow Apprentice now. So, that's great. And we can either drop down Leona, but we'll drop down the Stunhawk first, rather than Leona. Since we don't need as much of board control.
Or shadow.
And here, we don't have any elusive units, so using Zenith Blades kind of iffy. We'll use it on the Vanguard Lookout nonetheless. Hopefully we can get 1 unit that has elusive. Damn. Okay, well they do hit us for quite a bit there, and I think they get the strike from Rend Shadow Blade, so they get the Shadow Fiend in hand. We have quite a bit of units to work with here. So we're just going to outright attack, and we are going to use Battle Bonds here to buff up our Lookout. Actually, instead of doing it like this, yeah, we want to have it as a Sunhawk. We're still going to use Battle Bonds though. Just like that. And we'll use Gem too, and we'll heal him up a little bit. And we'll commit to this attack. They can't block, since their only elusive is stunned, so we're pretty much guaranteed to win this. Yep, there it is. Fortunately, we did lose 20 Nexus health, taking out Zed, but we were still able to take him out, so.